Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home. My name is Catherine and I am in the northeast of the United States of America in Zone 6. And here in Zone 6, things are dormant and we're still feeling the cold weather and temperatures are not so stable, but sometimes we would have a warm day, cold or cool days, so that things are still dormant in the ground. So this is a good time to think about what you would like to add to your garden. And as we have shown before, in Costco and in BJ's, they have summer perennials or bare root plants that you can buy in packages and put in the ground. And especially put them in now, because it is best to plant bare root plants, perennials, roses now at this time of the year in early March and into April, and probably you might be able to get away with it in early May, depending on where you are in the country. I want to address that issue. As beginners gardeners, you might be wondering what is best. Is it best to plant bare root plants or perennials, or to wait and put in potted plants? This is a beginner's guide to planting bare root roses and perennials. So again, hello friends. And if you've ever wanted to plant roses or perennials but felt unsure where to begin, this video is for you. Today we're going to talk about 3 things every beginner gardener should know. And one of the things is this: what bare root plants are, 1. Number 2, why they're one of the best ways to start a garden. So let's address the first question. What are bare root plants? What are they? Bare root plants are dormant plants sold without soil around their roots. Instead of being in a pot, the roots are wrapped in moisture-holding material and shipped while the plant is still sleeping for the winter season. And usually you'll find bare root plants as roses, peonies, hostas, daylilies, and many perennial flowers. Because the plant is dormant, it can be planted early in the spring before active growth begins. So what you're getting the root of the plants, and that piece of root you'll then put in the ground. And as the weather warms up and it moves more into spring, you'll start to see shoots of them coming up, the leaves showing up around May or so. But the benefit that you have is that you can plant a lot more of these roots, bare roots, in the ground, and it is less expensive. That's part of the benefits of bare root, planting bare root plants. You may ask me, what are the benefits of planting bare root plants? Well, there are many benefits. There are several big advantages to starting with bare root plants. 1, the stronger root established. Bare root plants often establish deeper roots because they adapt directly to your soil from the beginning. Whereas in a potted plant, they're in a different type of soil and they're growing in that and they're used to that. So then by the time you put them in your garden and in your soil, it takes a while for the plant to adjust to its new home. And that means you have to monitor them even more to make sure that it's happy where it is. When the plant is a bare root plant, bare root plants often establish much more easily. It's much more happier. The plant is much more happier because it is used to, it's grown naturally in the soil. It's adapted already to your soil. So it will grow much more happier. Number 2, bare root roses, bare root plants and shrubs and perennials are more affordable. They're much more affordable. They typically cost less than potted plants, allowing you, the gardener, to plant more varieties for the same budget. And I find that to be very, very true. When you get a bag of bare root plants, when you have them, many times you have 5 to 6, maybe 7 or multiple amounts of roots in the bag. Whereas in a pot, they give you 1 plant or maybe 2 plants. But with the roots, it's easier to ship. It doesn't require soil. And so you're able to get it in bulk and much more affordable. The third benefit of planting bare root plants is that it's easier to transport and plant. They're lightweight and easier to handle than heavy containers. And that is so true because depending on the size of the plant in a pot, it can get very heavy. But with bare root roses, it's just the roots that you're handling, and it is very light. It's easy to put in the ground because all you're doing is basically digging a hole, adding some fertilizer and or some compost, fresh soil in the area, and putting the root in the ground, covering it up, and that's it. So it's easier to transport and it's easier to plant. Now, the fourth reason or benefit of planting bare root plants, it's less transplant shock. Because they are dormant when planted, they adjust naturally as they wake up in your garden. It's like the plant has been sleeping, it's under the ground, and now you put it in your garden, under the ground, in the soil. And so it wakes up to this new place, this new atmosphere. And it's not shocked. You're not moving, you're not digging it up and taking it somewhere else, or you're not taking it out of its other home to give it a new home. It's going right in your garden, and that makes it a happy plant. Number 5, one of the benefits of planting bare root plants is wider variety of selection. The fifth benefit of planting bare root plants is that you have a wider variety of selection, and many specialty nurseries offer rare or heirloom varieties only in bare root form. So it broadens your possibilities in your garden of different plants and variety of plants. That's why I like to go to Costco or go to BJ's, when they have the Bareroot roses out, when they have the Bareroot plants and perennials available, because now it broadens my ability to add new and exciting varieties of different plants. For example, I love lilies because I'm buying them in bulk like that, and as a Bareroot, I'm able, or actually it's a bulb, but it's a root form, that I'm able to now have different varieties of lilies in my garden. Or if I like a particular daylily, I'm not just limited to one type. I can get many different types, and also peonies as well as roses. So Bareroot forms give you variety. Oh, as well as dahlias. Dahlias are available. You can get irises, bearded irises, and it's just the variety. It's beautiful. It makes your garden more interesting and more colorful because of the ability to buy Bareroot plants. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who you know is a beginning gardener and who wants to get some advice on how to grow perennials and Bareroot roses and perennials in their garden. And someone who loves gardening. And in the comments, tell me, are you planting roses or other perennials in your garden? And what varieties are you excited about? Recap on what we've been talking about here is thinking about planting Bareroot roses and perennials now while they are dormant, because the benefits are great. For a recap, the benefits of planting Bareroot plants: 1, you'll have stronger root establishment. Number 2, it's much more affordable. Number 3, easier to transport and to plant in the ground. Number 4, less transplant shock. And number 5, you'll have a wider variety of plants, especially at this particular time. At this time, while things are still dormant, you'll be able to choose and add to your garden and fill it out. And each year, as you continue to add to your garden, remember that your plants will grow, and soon you'll be able to divide that plant and then create more plants. And especially like daylilies and hostas and peonies, some of these plants, they multiply, some more rapidly than others, and you'll be able to spread it around your garden. So this beginning investment of getting Bareroot plants will then benefit you later on as a gardener. You'll be able to expand your garden from the plants, from this one first investment of a Bareroot plant. Well, I hope that you found this interesting, and thank you so much for watching here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. Thank you for watching. Bye. The bearded iris have opened up. This is a beautiful sign of spring. They're gorgeous. Look at their colors. Mother Nature does a fine job of showing us how to put the colors together. Do you see the rich purple with the golden yellow, white design, and then the purple, lavender top. Just a beautiful color combination to have in the spring garden. I'm here at Costco and they have the bulbs out, the spring bulb assortment. And it is beautiful. They have the elephant ear, begonias. Look at that, very nice. Calendrium, I think I'm gonna get this. Caladium, I say calendrium, I mean caladium. And different ones. And then they have the iris, the daylilies. Oh my goodness, this is so good. The alliums. I am so thrilled that I'm able to get this now. This is so good. And the hostas. Big Daddy, wow, that is huge. The iris, the fern, begonias, those are nice. They also have this other selection here. This is $19.99. Where you can get a combination. They kind of set it up for you. And then they have this here. This one's on sale, $16.99, $3 off. I like this elephant ear, this one right here. It says 2. Let's look at this. Wow, that's pretty. They also have other trending tropical plants available as well. And they have the orchids and the fern. This is pretty for Easter. They have Easter baskets available. And these blooming hydrangea and garden azaleas too. Looks like azaleas to me. Yeah, but this is the Easter basket design. Cute. And then they have hurricane glass hyacinths. But this is what we really care about. I am back from my trip to Costco and it was very nice. I enjoyed watching and looking at all of the different bulbs, and I ended up getting these caladiums. I had them before in the past and it was just so beautiful in the garden, so this is what I'm going to be adding to my garden, and I'm thinking about putting them in these pots here that I have. I have these 2 pots, and I think they will look nice in the pots. I also got another variety here, and this is Caroline Wotton, very pretty as well. And I'm going to just put them around. It's 10 caladiums here, and I've had great success with caladiums before. So I think that both of them are going to be a great addition to the garden. Today my goal is to pot up these caladiums and the callas into pots and to get them started and put them in my greenhouse that I put together here so that they can be housed there. And when the temperatures rise to about 55, then I can plant them out in the garden, place them out in the garden. But I do want to pot up these caladiums and the callas, get them started. And if I leave them here in this greenhouse, that will help them to get started with the root growth. And you know, when the roots start to come out, then I'll be able to know that it's time to actually put them in the ground. And that's exactly what I did last year, and I had a lot of good success. Hello, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. I potted up the calla lilies, potted up the cannas, potted up some of my cabbage, one of my bottle cabbages that I had in the bottle. I decided to test it out because it was looking like if it was getting some iron deficiency. So I just wanted to just see where they are, and it looks so good. I also was doing some planting in the garden, as well as just putting things together in my makeshift greenhouses that I have. And it has just been a really rich and full day. So come with me as we work in the garden here at Catherine's Garden and Home. Here are the caladiums that I'm going to put in these pots. I think these are 6-inch pots, and I'm going to put 2 per bulb in the pot. So that should give me 6 pots of caladiums. I'm going to use compost, water them in, and then put them in a greenhouse setting so that they can develop the roots. First, I'm going to soak the bulbs, and these are the caladium pink cloud, and they're pink and green. They bloom summer through fall, full shade to part shade. So these are going to want full shade to part shade. More than likely, I'm going to put them back in the same location where I had placed them last year in the back garden, and use that space for the caladiums. I'm hoping actually to place the caladiums next to these begonias because they both like partial shade, and I think they're going to look really good together there in the garden. This is what the bulb looks like. This is the top of the bulb, and this is the bottom. You can kind of tell that this is the bottom because these are where the roots are coming out. So what I'm doing is just placing them inside some water for a little bit so that they can plump up, because you can tell that they're very dry and they need some hydrating before I put them in soil. This is a good size. So they're sitting in water here, and in a little while I'm going to come and put them into the pots. I would say about a half an hour to an hour, let them get a good soak, and then I will transplant them into the soil. I'm going to put them in these little pots and put some soil in there and plant them in. What I'm going to do next is fill up these pots with soil, and I also have Miracle-Gro. I was able to pick up some Miracle-Gro Shake all-purpose fertilizer that I'm going to put in the pot as well with the compost. I'm using compost with these plants, with the caladiums, and they're going to live their life out in the pots. I don't think I'm going to take them out of the pots and put them into the ground, directly into the ground. I think that they actually do well in the pots, and I'm going to do just like what I did last year, which was to tuck them in amongst the other plants in the garden, and they did very, very well there. I have 12 caladiums, and I was able to get 12 pots. So I believe that I'm going to put one caladium into each pot. And since I have the pots, I might as well utilize them. And that way I know that the caladiums will have plenty of room to grow, and they'll get pretty big. So let me get started on filling up each pot with soil and with a little of the Miracle-Gro. Okay, so I'm going to place each of the bulbs in. Now this is the bottom and this is the top. So you just kind of stick it in. This looks like a nice good size. So stick it in like that. This looks like the top here. Bigger ones, I want to kind of put the larger ones in the bigger pots. They all are a good size. This is a nice big chunky one here. Let me see, I can put it in that one. So it's kind of smaller. They became very plump, which is really good. Let's see, stick that one in here, and the final one, and just place them there. So they're all placed in, and what I'm going to do is now cover them lightly with some soil and just set them in to grow some roots and get stronger. So I have here my calla lilies, and I'm going to soak them as well. And I have these 2 pots that I'm going to put them in that I had from last year, and I think they're going to look really pretty in the pots. Yeah, could you just imagine? Use your imagination. Yeah, I think that's going to look really pretty. So what I'm going to do is put 6 in. Well, actually there's 6 all together, and I'm going to put 3 in each pot. So let's take a look at them, and then also soak them for a little bit too, so that they can be nice and plump and ready. The name of the calla lilies is It's Calla Lily Garnet Glow and Calla Grape Velvet. And they're both in separate packages. So let's just see what they look like. So this is what it looks like. It almost looks like the caladium bulb, the Calla Lily bulb. So I'm going to just put them in water, rest them in here and let them plump up a little bit. So that's a good size one. You know, they might even just need their own separate pot. Look at this one. That's a good size. So this is the top and this is the bottom. The bottom, the flat side. And here's the other one. Yeah, these are really good size bulbs. Okay, let's look at the other set. Ooh, this looks good. Yeah, not too bad. And the last one, let's see if we can find that last one. This one's kind of small. Alright, so they're all in there, and then we're going to place them in. I think what I will do is put, you know, try to even them out so that they're evenly distributed within the pots here. I also have some potting soil that I'm going to be mixing with this. So in this one I have potting soil, compost. I'm going to put a little bit of the Miracle Grow, and that should be good for these bulbs. They should do well in this. A little lighter soil. The Calla Lily bulbs have been sitting in the water for about a half an hour or so. And now I'm going to transplant them into the pot. They are a good size, so I've decided instead of putting 3 in these 2 pots, I'm going to actually put 2 in a pot, and hopefully I'll be able to sort them out pretty well here so that they will have plenty of space to grow. Now this is a good size. This is a really good size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stick this one in here because it almost looks like 2 bulbs versus 1. So I'm going to just stick that one right in the middle there like that. And then I'm going to place this one here in this pot here, and another large size one here into this pot like that. Then let's divide up the rest of them. So since this one is a bigger pot, I'm going to put this one in here with it. It's going to be interesting to find out what color comes up because they've all been mixed in together. So this one here, I'm going to just add this to this pot, and the last one will go in this pot. Yeah. So let me just kind of move them over a little bit so that they're more spaced out a little bit. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm looking forward to the Calla Lily bulbs, and that would be great if to have these 3 different pots that I can place in the garden in different places, or even just leave here on the deck depending on you know, what I want to do. So now I'm just going to cover them up lightly. You do not cover these bulbs with a lot of soil. You don't want to plant them too deeply. You want to just plant them lightly in here. So I have some mixed up potting soil that I'm going to use, mixed up potting soil that I'm going to use to just sprinkle on them lightly. Cover them up lightly. And the light potting soil won't inhibit them from sprouting because the soil is light. And as I said, I mixed this soil with compost and with this potting soil. I also put a little bit of the Miracle Grow in it as well. So that's it. We've finished with the calla lilies. Isn't that fantastic? So I'm looking forward to them sprouting. So just imagine beautiful callas coming out of this pot. Let me see if I can set it up for you. Yeah, isn't that pretty? And this is going to be pretty coming out of the white pot and then out of the blue. Yeah, so I'm going to put them in the greenhouse here. I believe I'm going to just put them in here in this greenhouse and let them sit here. That way I can monitor them. But since I'm in the mood, let's get with it. Let's let the inspiration continue. And these are very beautiful. This is Pitoria Canna, and I love the leaves. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. These are what the canna looks like. You could see that this here is ready to start to sprout, and this one as well. The others are kind of small, but they're looking good. So I'm going to just put them in water, allow them to plump up a little bit, and then we will place them in the pot. Just dump them in there. But that's good to see that they're already starting to sprout, because that's a good sign that they're ready to go. So we'll let them sit for a little bit, and then I'm going to put them in the containers. In these Proven Winners containers, I'm going to put the cannas, and they have been soaking here. The cannas have been soaking here in water, and I'm going to transplant them into the pots there and put them out so that they can start to develop their roots. And the way that you can tell which way to put it down is that you can see the roots on the bottom there. Don't you see the roots at the bottom? Yeah. And so here you can see that it's coming up. They will just sprout up towards the light. So in this container, I'm going to put these other two. I'm going to need to mix this up a little bit more. Yeah, because this is kind of rough. But I don't think that they will mind, because this is good compost. I even put in the shavings so that it will lighten it up hopefully a little bit, and they will grow. I think that they're just going to like this pot because it's very rich. It's compost, and they're going to like the compost. And just as long as it's well draining, and these pots are well draining pots. This is a leaf. So I think it's going to be just fine. All right, so let's look at this one. Here you can see these where the roots are. So I'm going to, it looks like it's, I don't know how healthy this one is. Oh no, this is rotten. This one's no good.
All right, so I guess we won't be using the third pot. It turned out that I am not going to need more than these 3 pots. One of them was a really soft in the middle. This one is kind of too, but there's still some life in it, so we'll see what happens if they do flower. They're a little mushy in the middle. So we'll see. But if I get 2 good ones out of this, then that's not too bad. We know that that's alive. We know that this one is alive.
Oh my. Let you see what's inside. Look at that. They're 2 root balls. Actually, 3 of them. 1, 2, and a third one. They always do it like that. They give you like 2 hefty, good-looking ones, and then they give you 1/3 one that's always not as healthy as looking as the others. But what it is actually my I ordered hardy hibiscus, and that's what I'm going to add to the garden. These hardy hibiscus. I'm excited about that. The hardy hibiscus. Thank you for your order. And yes, they show you the 3 different root balls here. Now this one is a good size. That's a really good size. That looks really good. And this one looks really healthy and good also. But this one, now really, looks so skimpy. But what I'm going to do with them, I'll put them in the ground as well. They did suggest putting them in pots, the way that they showed them to first start them off in pots. Let's read and see what it says here. It says, your plants have been shipped to you in a bare root form. Please remove the plants from the packaging right away and plant them as soon as possible following the planting instructions. It says, place the plants in a cool, dark place such as a refrigerator, unheated garage, or basement. Keep the roots moist by using a spray bottle to mist them. Occasionally, bare root plants may arrive with a small amount of mold on them. This is caused by temperature changes. And then it says soil preparation. We recommend having your soil tested periodically. Let's see, planting. Dig a hole twice as deep and twice as wide as each bare root division. Place a mound of soil in the bottom of each hole and carefully spread the dormant bare roots over the mound. Cover the roots completely with 1 to 2 inches of soil, firming the soil around the roots. Water thoroughly. That seems easy enough. Dig a hole and put them in. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get with it, and you're going to see a video of me doing this. Putting these bare root hibiscus plants into the ground. And there are the different kinds. Let's see. This one, what does it say? Where's the tag? It says hibiscus hybrid summer in paradise. Summer in paradise. This one says, let's see, very awesome, very awesome. And this one says ballet slippers, ballet slippers. So I'm going to plant them over in the new section over there where the tea garden is, because they'll get plenty of sun and hopefully they'll grow and they'll show up and have beautiful, beautiful blooms like this. I have a hibiscus plant already that I got a long time ago and I planted it in. But since then, the hybriders have improved the hibiscus plants, and they are more thicker, more sturdy, and more reliable. And because that is a new space over there, they'll have plenty of room to grow and to show up. And could you imagine in the in in August having these beautiful blooms? Wow, I think that's going to be fantastic. Hello, is somebody joining me? Yes. Hello, 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 hello. Yes, I am early today with my sharing, but I was just so excited to open up and unbox this hibiscus plant. So um, I decided to come out and to greet you all early here. But today is Wednesday, and I've definitely been true to meeting up with you all and having a conversation about the garden. So why garden? You know, why go through all this? Why put this money and investment into this? And it's because it gives us such joy. Um, and I was thinking, sometimes you could get tired of it, and it does require some kind of effort, but it's a good thing to do. Why garden? Because it's mine. I can create this. And that is what we have to think about. This gives us an opportunity to create and to make something and to put something together and to nurture it. So I'm excited about this. And plus, you get to start and do something different and new. To really have these hibiscus plants in my garden and to dream about what it can look like, especially over by the new area. I am excited to put them in the ground and have them just flourish. My hibiscus is blooming now. Isn't that beautiful? It's a red flowering hibiscus, and it is so pretty. I don't remember the name of it, but I did get it from HSN when they were selling hibiscus for their special for the day. And this one is the only one that has survived. I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago that I purchased it, and it looks so beautiful. It's so pretty here amongst the hydrangea and also the bee balm. I am enjoying the mid-August flower garden. The hibiscus, the red hibiscus, just coming up and providing those beautiful bright blooms with the purple phlox and the bee balm. It has just been a beautiful scene when I look out my window.
this Japanese maple tree on the deck has been here for the last 6 years or so, and it is looking so beautiful, so lush and full and happy here on my deck. I've been in the garden harvesting my curly kale and also my collard greens. As you can see, I've just been clipping away, trying to give them some space and some air, but there's still so much more to harvest. I'm really pleased with how the marigolds and the zinnias have been coming up amongst this array of vegetables, just keeping them very clean. And I have here also some dinosaur kale that I planted last year that started to seed, and I saved some seeds from them, but now they're providing some really great leaves here. And I've been using them in salads. I've been eating them, and they're so delicious with the combination of the curly kale and the collard greens. You know, I think the collard greens are sweeter than all of the kale. And then I've been picking, I actually harvested one of the tomatoes that was starting to turn red. Just wanted to catch it and bring it in and let it ripen the rest of the way indoors. Now I put here my sage plants, and I'm going to have to find a spot for them. And then finally here, I believe that this is a sweet pumpkin. And it's starting to turn. Isn't that wonderful? Just kind of keep it hidden here. Yeah. But then I am also very pleased with the marigolds I planted here. See how pretty they are. Adding to the beautiful color here in the garden underneath the tomatoes. And this is exactly what I saw in my mind when I planted those seeds there, that I just wanted to line this pathway with the marigolds. And then when you look up and see the beautiful cluster of tomatoes growing here freshly on the vine, receiving the beautiful sun, the warmth of the sun. I'm thankful
for the red, beautiful flowers of the hibiscus and also the flowers of the Rose of Sharon tree. It has been such a beautiful accent, and also just the fresh vegetables from my vegetable garden, my vegetable kitchen garden. All of these seeds of collard greens were shown up in the garden with the mint to provide beauty. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.